after all the confusion about the future of President Biden's student loan forgiveness program, we now know a decision will be made by the U.S. Supreme Court.
Justices agreeing to hear arguments on the legality of the plan while it remains blocked now by the courts. We'll be talking with a constitutional lawyer and a student loan borrower about the future of the plan in a moment. But first, let's go to correspondent Nick Harper live in Washington, D.C. Nick, when are justices expected to hear arguments on the case?
Yeah, morning, Lindsay. Well, nothing happens, as we know, with the Supreme Court particularly quickly. We are told, though, that they are working on a fast-track schedule for this one. All of that means that oral arguments will be heard in February. We won't get a final decision then, but we will at least get some indication from the 9 justices as to which way they are potentially leaning. Often during those oral argument sessions, it becomes clear what their thinking is on a particular issue. But it does mean, for now, that that student loan debt relief program is blocked until we get a final decision from the court.
And who is suing to block the program and why?
Well, there's been a number of different groups come forward to put up challenges, but I think the most consequential one has come from 6 Republican-controlled states. They are South Carolina, Iowa, Missouri, Nebraska, Arkansas, and Kansas. Now, they all argue that the Biden administration has essentially overstepped here, that the president, although he put this through under executive orders, doesn't have enough power, even with those executive orders, to go ahead and make a decision like this without Congress's approval. But at the root of all this, it essentially comes down to money. They also argue that they will not be able to claim future tax revenue from these debts, these student loans, and that, they feel, puts them in a weakened position, and that's why they've gone forward with these challenges. And now we've seen it going all the way to the highest court in the land, and the Supreme Court having to make the final decision on what happens next with this whole case.
And Nick, briefly just walk us through the timeline here. Typically, the U.S. Supreme Court, of course, now they're in their fall session. We typically get major opinions late spring, early summer. What's the timeline on this?
Yeah, Rob, that's what we're likely to see here. So we'll have the oral arguments in February, but yes, then it'll be another couple of months until we get a final ruling handed down by the court. Could come as early as May, but more likely it'll land sometime in June, perhaps as late as the beginning of July. What does all this mean for the Biden administration? Could it be good news? Well, remember, there is a conservative majority currently on the court, 6 conservative justices versus 3 more liberal-leaning ones. 3 of those conservative justices, of course, appointed by the former president, Donald Trump. And also bear in mind that they have struck down over the course of the last year other Biden administration plans, the eviction moratorium, also a vaccine mandate for large employers. The Supreme Court thought both of those things, again, were overstepping by the Biden administration. It's unclear what way they'll decide on this one, but it will be some time before we get that final ruling from the court, early summertime.
All right, correspondent Nick Harper live in D.C. Thank you.